Do you like coming to New York City?
Yeah, I do.
You do?
Yeah.
I picture this. I picture Clint Eastwood comes, and then you don't take a driver or a cab. You drive around on a horse.
Yeah.
And is that...
That's cool.
Is that about right?
Cool. No, that ain't right.
No.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're stepping into the iconic world of Clint Eastwood, from his rugged lifestyle and legendary earnings to the latest buzz that's got Hollywood talking. If you love success stories with grit and greatness, smash that like button and hit subscribe so you don't miss a moment. Let's get into it. Early life. Born Clinton Eastwood Jr. on May 31, 1930, in San Francisco, California, Clint Eastwood was raised during the throes of the Great Depression, an era that instilled in him a deep sense of resilience and independence. His father, Clinton Eastwood Sr., worked various jobs, including as a steelworker and later as a manufacturing executive, while his mother, Margaret Ruth Eastwood, was a factory worker and later an IBM clerk. The Eastwood family moved frequently throughout Clint's childhood, often following job opportunities across California, from Sacramento to Oakland, giving young Clint a peripatetic upbringing that shaped his adaptability and quiet self-reliance. Eastwood grew up alongside his younger sister Jean in what he would later describe as a modest working-class environment. Though not impoverished, the family had to be resourceful, and Clint spent much of his youth outdoors, developing a love for nature, swimming, and music. He was a tall, shy teenager who didn't stand out much academically, but had a natural gravitas and calm demeanor that set him apart from his peers. While he didn't show early signs of theatrical ambition, he was fascinated by music, particularly jazz and blues, and played the piano well into his adult life. His early passion for jazz and composition hinted at a deeper creative streak that would eventually manifest in film scoring and directing. After graduating from Oakland Technical High School in 1949, Eastwood held a variety of odd jobs, including lifeguard, logger, and steelworker, manual labor that further built his rugged persona. A pivotal moment in his early life came when he was drafted into the U.S. Army during the Korean War. Stationed at Fort Ord in California, Clint met several aspiring actors and filmmakers who encouraged him to consider Hollywood. A chance encounter with a film technician during his time at Fort Ord opened the door to his future career in film. Impressed by Eastwood's towering height and striking looks, the technician suggested he try his hand at acting. After being discharged from the Army, Eastwood moved to Los Angeles and began taking acting classes while working odd jobs to make ends meet. He eventually landed a contract with Universal Studios, where he began his acting career with minor roles in B-movies. Though his early performances received little attention, they were crucial in helping him learn the ropes of the industry. One of his first mentors was director Arthur Lubin, who recognized Eastwood's potential and helped him secure auditions, leading to his first steady role on the television series Rawhide in the late 1950s. Clint Eastwood's early life was marked by quiet determination, physical labor, and a steady cultivation of artistic interests that extended beyond acting to music and later filmmaking. The combination of his modest upbringing, disciplined work ethic, and key relationships formed during his Army years helped forge the foundation of a career that would make him one of the most iconic figures in American cinema. Career and success. Clint Eastwood's career is a testament to perseverance, reinvention, and an uncanny instinct for storytelling. Building on the foundation laid during his early years in television, Eastwood's breakthrough came in the mid-1960s with the release of A Fistful of Dollars, the first in Sergio Leone's iconic Dollars trilogy. Playing the mysterious stoic man with no name, Eastwood captivated international audiences with his quiet intensity and rugged charisma. This role marked his transformation from television actor to global movie star and solidified his status as a leading figure in a new wave of Western cinema. The trilogy, completed with For a Few Dollars More and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, redefined the genre and catapulted Eastwood into stardom. The 1970s and early 1980s saw Eastwood firmly establish himself as a Hollywood powerhouse, particularly with his portrayal of dirty, Harry Callahan in the Dirty Harry series. These gritty, morally complex crime thrillers introduced a new kind of anti-hero to American film and became box office hits. further embedding Eastwood into the fabric of American pop culture. During this time, Eastwood also began directing, a transition that would come to define the second, and arguably most important phase of his career. His directorial debut, Play Misty for Me, 1971, showcased his ability to handle suspense and character-driven stories with confidence and nuance. As his career progressed, Eastwood became known not only for acting but for his consistent output as a director and producer. Films like The Outlaw Josie Wales, 1976, Pale Rider, 1985, and Unforgiven, 1992, demonstrated a maturing vision, often subverting the traditional Western mythos he had helped popularize. Unforgiven, in particular, marked a major milestone. It won 4 Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Director, and re-established Eastwood as one of the most respected filmmakers in Hollywood. The film's critical acclaim was a turning point, elevating his reputation from action star to serious auteur. Throughout the 2000s and 2010s, Eastwood continued to evolve as an artist, taking on bold, often politically and emotionally complex subjects. His films Mystic River, 2003, $1 Million Baby, 2004, Flags of Our Fathers and Letters from Iwo Jima, 2006, and Gran Torino, 2008, received widespread acclaim and numerous accolades. $1 Million Baby earned Eastwood his second pair of Oscars for Best Picture and Best Director, cementing his legacy as one of the few in Hollywood to achieve massive success on both sides of the camera. Eastwood's collaborations with major talents, actors like Morgan Freeman, Hilary Swank, Sean Penn, and Bradley Cooper, also became a hallmark of his later career. His 2014 film American Sniper, starring Cooper, broke box office records and earned 6 Academy Award nominations. Even into his late 80s and 90s, Eastwood remained remarkably active, directing films like The Mule, 2018, and Richard Jewell, 2019, often tackling stories of ordinary individuals caught in extraordinary circumstances. Clint Eastwood's career has spanned over 6 decades, marked by reinvention, critical acclaim, and an unwavering commitment to telling powerful stories. From iconic roles in westerns and thrillers to directing some of the most celebrated films in modern American cinema, Eastwood has become a towering figure in the industry. His influence extends beyond film, shaping how characters, masculinity, and American identity are portrayed on screen. With numerous awards, box office triumphs, and a legacy of innovation, Eastwood's impact on Hollywood is both profound and enduring. Income and net worth. Clint Eastwood's financial success is nothing short of legendary, mirroring his towering presence in the world of film. With a career spanning over 6 decades as an actor, director, producer, and even politician, Eastwood has built an extraordinary fortune. His estimated net worth is widely reported to be between $375 million and $500 million, making him one of the wealthiest figures in Hollywood history. Eastwood's financial empire was first built on the back of his acting career, which took off internationally in the 1960s with the Dollars trilogy. As his fame grew, so did his salary. By the 1970s and 80s, he was earning millions per film. But it wasn't just acting that brought in revenue. Clint made a savvy and career-defining move early on by founding his own production company, Malpaso Productions, in 1967. Through Malpaso, he produced most of his films, allowing him to collect profits not only as a star, but also as a director and producer. This move gave him far more control and a much larger slice of the financial pie than most actors of his generation. For movies he directed and produced, Eastwood is believed to have earned tens of millions per project, especially those that were both critically acclaimed and commercially successful. His lean production style, often bringing films in under budget and ahead of schedule, has made him not only popular with studios but also incredibly profitable. Eastwood has generally avoided flashy endorsements or product deals, instead building his wealth quietly through ownership, creative control, and long-term financial planning. His approach to money has mirrored his screen persona: disciplined, understated, and effective. Today, Clint Eastwood remains not just an icon of American cinema, but a symbol of how artistic talent, business intelligence, and longevity can combine to create enduring success. His income over the years, estimated in the hundreds of millions, has not only solidified his place among Hollywood's elite, but has also allowed him to maintain a level of creative independence that few in the industry ever achieve. Lifestyle insights. Beyond the silver screen and box office success, Clint Eastwood leads a life that reflects his rugged independence, deep-rooted values, and quiet sophistication. His lifestyle, much like his public persona, is marked by simplicity, discipline, and a focus on substance over flash. Eastwood has always been a man of many interests, and even outside of Hollywood, he continues to stay active, creative, and involved in pursuits that reflect his character and worldview. One of Eastwood's greatest personal passions is music, specifically jazz. A talented pianist and lifelong jazz aficionado, Eastwood has even composed scores for several of his own films, including Mystic River and $1 Million Baby. He has produced jazz documentaries and supported the Monterey Jazz Festival for years. Music is not just a hobby for Eastwood, it's a core part of his identity. He's often said that, had he not become an actor, he might have pursued a full-time career in music. In addition to music, Eastwood is an avid golfer and has participated in numerous celebrity tournaments over the years. He's also passionate about aviation. He earned his pilot's license decades ago and still occasionally flies helicopters and small planes. These high-focus hobbies reflect Eastwood's appreciation for precision, patience, and freedom, qualities that also define his work ethic and approach to filmmaking. Eastwood is equally known for his commitment to health and wellness. He has long followed a clean, mostly plant-based diet and maintains a consistent fitness regimen even into his 90s. He avoids alcohol in excess and practices moderation in most aspects of life, an approach that has no doubt contributed to his longevity and sustained productivity. Philanthropy is another facet of Eastwood's life, though he prefers to keep his charitable contributions out of the spotlight. He has supported numerous causes over the years, particularly those related to veterans, environmental conservation, and education. He's contributed to programs aiding military families and has lent his voice and influence to various public service campaigns. His restoration and preservation of the Mission Ranch in Carmel is not just a business venture, it's also an act of community investment, preserving a piece of California's heritage. When it comes to style, Eastwood opts for understated elegance. On red carpets, he favors classic, well-tailored suits in dark tones, and in everyday life, he prefers practical clothing, khakis, casual button-downs, and comfortable shoes. There's no flashiness to his wardrobe. Instead, it reflects the same grounded, no-nonsense persona that made him an American icon. Despite his largely respected image, Eastwood's life hasn't been without controversy. His political views have sometimes drawn criticism, particularly his public speeches and conservative-leaning commentary, such as his now famous empty chair speech at the 2012 Republican National Convention. However, Eastwood has often described himself as libertarian and pragmatic, avoiding hard ideological labels. These moments have sparked debate, but they've also highlighted his commitment to speaking his mind, a trait consistent with his reputation for authenticity and independence. In later years, Eastwood has become more measured in his public statements, focusing on his art and community involvement rather than the political spotlight. Clint Eastwood's lifestyle is a reflection of his unique journey, focused, multifaceted, and deeply rooted in personal values. Whether he's playing jazz at home, flying a helicopter, or quietly contributing to a cause he believes in, Eastwood has built a life that mirrors the stoic, self-made characters he's known for. His private world, though far from the glitz of Hollywood, adds depth to his public image and reinforces the legacy of a man who has lived and worked on his own terms. Relationships and personal life. Clint Eastwood's personal life has long reflected the same complexity, depth, and quiet conviction that define his on-screen characters. Over the decades, he has been involved in a series of high-profile relationships, many of which have had a lasting impact on both his family dynamic and public image. Despite the intense media interest, Eastwood has consistently managed to keep the most personal aspects of his relationships private, navigating love, loss, and loyalty on his own terms. Eastwood's first marriage was to Maggie Johnson in 1953, a union that lasted nearly 30 years. Though they separated in the late 1970s and officially divorced in 1984, the marriage resulted in 2 children, including Kyle Eastwood, a jazz musician, and Allison Eastwood, an actress and filmmaker. While still married, Clint had a long-term relationship with actress Roxanne Tunis, which led to the birth of his daughter Kimber in 1964. The pattern of overlapping relationships would continue throughout Eastwood's life, a source of both public intrigue and personal complexity. One of his most well-known partnerships was with actress Sandra Locke. Their relationship spanned from 1975 to 1989 and included several on-screen collaborations. Despite their creative chemistry, their separation was marked by legal disputes and controversy, offering a rare glimpse into the challenges behind Eastwood's famously stoic exterior. In 1996, Eastwood married Dina Ruiz, a television news anchor. The couple had 1 daughter, Morgan, and remained together for 17 years before divorcing in 2013. Despite the split, they have maintained a cooperative relationship as co-parents. Eastwood is the father of at least 8 children with multiple women, and his family has become an increasingly visible part of his public life. Several of his children, including Scott Eastwood and Francesca Eastwood, have followed in his entertainment footsteps. Clint has been known to support their careers publicly and privately, often appearing alongside them at premieres and events. His relationship with his children is said to be close, despite the unconventional family structure. He reportedly values honesty and independence, traits he has instilled in each of them. Until recently, Eastwood was in a decade-long relationship with Christina Sandra, a former restaurant hostess he met in Carmel by the Sea. The couple largely kept their relationship out of the spotlight, though Sandra occasionally accompanied Eastwood to red carpet events and public appearances. Sadly, Christina passed away in July 2024 from a heart attack, a loss that deeply affected Clint and those close to him. Despite the grief, Eastwood has once again demonstrated his resilience. Reports surfaced in late 2024 that he had quietly begun seeing someone new. The identity of his new partner has not been disclosed, in keeping with Eastwood's desire for privacy, but sources close to the actor describe her as someone within his trusted inner circle. Friends say the new relationship has been a source of comfort, and she has already been introduced to his family. At 94, Eastwood's decision to embrace companionship once again highlights his enduring optimism and emotional strength. Outside of romance, Clint has maintained close bonds with his extended family, particularly his sister Jean, who has largely stayed out of the limelight. These long-standing connections have grounded him throughout the fluctuations of fame. Professionally, Eastwood is known for cultivating loyalty among his collaborators. He frequently works with the same editors, producers, and crew members across multiple films, most notably editor Joel Cox and producer Robert Lawrence. He has also formed lasting friendships with actors like Morgan Freeman, with whom he shares both a strong creative connection and personal admiration. These relationships reflect his reputation as a quiet but highly respected leader in the film industry, someone who values trust and consistency. Clint Eastwood's relationships, marked by passion, complexity, and an unwavering sense of independence, reveal a man deeply committed to the people in his life, even if he rarely speaks about them publicly. His ability to maintain strong family ties and professional loyalty over the years speaks to the values that have guided him: authenticity, resilience, and a steadfast belief in personal responsibility. These qualities have not only shaped his personal legacy, but also enriched his cinematic one. Real estate. Coming off the deeply personal relationships that have defined Clint Eastwood's private life, his real estate portfolio offers a tangible reflection of the same values that shape his character: heritage, authenticity, and quiet sophistication. Eastwood's most iconic and meaningful property is the Mission Ranch in Carmel by the Sea, California. Purchased in 1986 for a reported $5 million, the 22-acre coastal estate was originally a working dairy farm dating back to the 1850s. At the time of purchase, the property was at risk of being turned into condominiums, but Eastwood stepped in to preserve it. He personally oversaw a massive restoration, investing millions to transform it into a charming boutique hotel and restaurant. Today, Mission Ranch features 31 rustic guest rooms housed in restored barns and cottages, a piano bar, tennis courts, and open pastures with views of sheep grazing by the ocean. The property remains open to the public and continues to reflect Eastwood's love for preservation, community, and the serene landscape of Northern California. Another standout in his real estate history is a Spanish Revival-style home in Carmel, just 1 block from the beach. Built in the 1920s, the 4,442-square-foot estate includes 4 bedrooms, 4.5 bathrooms, a media room, wine cellar, and stunning views of the Pacific Ocean. Eastwood lived in this home throughout the 1980s and during his term as Carmel's mayor. He sold the property in 1996 for $2.25 million, and in 2024, the home resurfaced on the market at an eye-catching $21 million before eventually selling for $18.55 million. The sale was a testament to Eastwood's impeccable eye for location and design, as well as his enduring influence in the area. He also previously owned a nearly 7,000-square-foot Spanish colonial mansion in Pebble Beach, another coastal jewel. The 6-bedroom, 6.5-bath estate, which he purchased in 1994 for $3.9 million, was later listed for close to $10 million. Featuring timeless architecture, panoramic ocean views, and lush landscaping, the home perfectly captured Eastwood's preference for classic, understated luxury. Today, Eastwood's primary residence is located in the exclusive Tehama community in Carmel Valley, a private enclave he helped develop. The estate, situated within a sprawling gated golf and nature preserve, offers complete privacy, mountain views, and environmentally conscious architecture that blends seamlessly into the landscape. While exact details of the home remain private, it's known to feature multiple bedrooms, handcrafted woodwork, and warm, natural tones that reflect Eastwood's enduring love for rustic, Western-inspired aesthetics. Beyond California, Eastwood has also owned properties in Sun Valley, Idaho, Maui, Hawaii, and a large ranch in Northern California. He previously held a 6,136-square-foot Bel Air mansion and a 15,949-square-foot compound built in Carmel for an estimated $20 million. However, in recent years, he has pared down his holdings, focusing on the Carmel region, where he remains a beloved local figure and longtime resident. What's striking about Eastwood's real estate choices is how well they reflect his character. His homes are never flashy, but they are elegant, functional, and deeply tied to the environment around them. Rather than building palatial estates to display wealth, he has invested in properties that offer peace, history, and a sense of place. His most cherished real estate, like Mission Ranch, was saved, not bought for status, and his current Carmel residence remains an embodiment of the quiet strength and self-sufficiency he's known for. Cars and vehicles. Much like his real estate choices, Clint Eastwood's relationship with vehicles reflects a lifelong appreciation for craftsmanship, function, and classic American style. Long before becoming one of Hollywood's most iconic leading men, Eastwood was drawn to the open road. One of his earliest cars was a modest Ford convertible, which he reportedly drove during his time working odd jobs in the 1950s. It wasn't flashy, but it was reliable, much like the man himself. As his fame grew, so did his taste in vehicles, though Eastwood has never been one to flaunt extravagant supercars. Instead, he has always leaned toward cars that are elegant, powerful, and timeless. Among his most well-known vehicles is his GMC Typhoon, a high-performance SUV from the early 1990s that combined speed with practicality, fitting for a star who appreciates muscle but stays grounded. He has also owned a Lincoln Continental, known for its classic design and smooth ride, and a Jaguar XKSS, a rare collector's item that nods to Eastwood's appreciation for both performance and heritage. One of his most cherished vehicles is a 1966 Ferrari 275 GTB, a sleek Italian sports car known for its design and precision. This car, once part of Eastwood's private collection, was auctioned off in 2011 and fetched over $1 million, a reflection of both its rarity and its iconic owner. Unlike many stars who maintain a large garage of exotic cars, Eastwood has always kept a relatively small, curated collection with sentimental or historical value. In recent years, Eastwood has shown a preference for practical and environmentally conscious choices, reportedly driving hybrid and electric vehicles, including a Toyota Prius and Tesla Model S. While these cars are more subdued than vintage Ferraris, they align with Eastwood's values: quiet, efficient, and modern without sacrificing substance. Interestingly, Eastwood is also a licensed pilot and has flown his own helicopters and small planes for decades. Though he rarely discusses it, his love of aviation has long provided him both freedom and privacy, especially when filming in remote locations or traveling between properties in Carmel and Southern California. That brings us to the end of this story. If you enjoyed it, don't miss the other celebrity journeys waiting for you on screen. Thanks so much for watching.